And we are live. Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, before I get you started, I just want to say a happy Veterans Day to all the heroes of this country, people that served. We salute you. Shout out you guys. Now, Jack, go ahead. Tell us who powers this podcast.
Back at you, buddy. I know you were never official active duty, but you certainly wore the uniform and did the service. We very much appreciate it.
I was active. Blake was inactive. I was active. I did a little stuff there.
I stole some valor from you there. I'm so sorry.
No, you're all good. I never deployed. That's
what I meant to say.
Yeah.
What a horrible start here. Jeez Louise. Anyway. Thank you to you and everybody, and Blake for that matter. I'm not knocking reserves here. But anyway, good Lord, let's get on with the show. It's the show we're excited about today. The Monday show, we get to focus on a little bit more Wanna things. We're focused on the big scores the weekend, but also the big winners from the Wanna Parlay community. So the 11/11 show, Lance, it's the official Make-A-Wish show here. And I'm starting to feel like a Make-A-Wish child, honestly. With how bad it's getting here, left, right, and center. So not loving it. But let's just get into it. The show today is brought to you by Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every week people are turning $2 into $2,000 left, right, and center. Last week we had some fun talking to the winners of the Wanna Parlay VIP contest. And people, I've got great news. Wanna Parlay has partnered with our boy Bob Menery to do it again. That contest is open now and will remain open until December 1st. And the winner, once again, is getting two all expenses paid tickets to Kansas City to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play the Los Angeles Chargers on December 8th. And you're going to be watching that game from the Wanna Parlay suite, mixing it up there at Arrowhead. Cost you $2 to enter for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And can't say it enough, it is all expenses paid. So if you're an LA Charger fan hanging out here by the beach, do not worry, that airfare will be covered and Chargers jerseys will be encouraged up in the box. Chance for each and every one of you to go cosplay as Brittany and Jackson Mahomes, huh? Mix it up in the suites at Arrowhead, shower the fans, blow some celebratory champagne. Keep the stream rolling, people, but get over there at some point and start playing immediately. Wanna Parlay is famous for their $2,000 giveaway on a $2 investment, but when you really look at this trip, the value is way more than $2,000. So this is a special offering. It doesn't happen all the time. We're going to be lucky enough to talk to one of the people that mixed it up there a couple of weeks ago, later in the episode. But the point is, you're not going to find anything like this anywhere else. Thank you again to the folks at Wanna Parlay. We are proud to be one of you, amongst you, supportive, be supported, all the rest. And with that said, that's Wanna Parlay, people.
Well, Jack, let me just let you know, our first type in the chat, our first little message we got it from KG Little Joe's, Old Faithful. KG, just a legend. And my God. Wait, hold on.
Ronnie James related?
At this point, I wish it was, Jack. I wish it was. This is all quote. This is not me. This is him. This weekend beat me like P. Diddy when he brings out the baby oils.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Quite frankly, I'm going to need more context there.
I don't think it's good, Jack. I don't think it's good in the slightest. I think it might have been one of the worst weekends KG's ever lived, because that's the equipment. He said, all caps, very, very bad. KG, hey, I relate, man. It was not good for me either. This was a tough weekend. This was Vegas Strikes Back. It's the 5th episode of Vegas just absolutely steamrolling us. It was sad. It was pathetic. We didn't me or you, we didn't do great. Neither of us.
No, it was combined 4 and 6 effort. Both of us went 2 and 3. Let's call a spade what it is right now. We're not great at this. It's not what we've never claimed to be great at this. What we are is we present the facts. And we get really emotional behind them. And then it's up to you, the fans, the audience, to discern if we are outside of our minds or onto something. And I'm not I can't be held accountable for that. I'm already being held accountable to my own stupid picks and losing money all over the place. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh, man. Vegas absolutely rinsed, man. Like, they knew what they were doing. They played with their food. I mean, the past couple weeks, the public had been hot. Everyone was, getting their lick on Vegas and thought it was sustainable, but no. They struck back.
I can't speak to what happened with you and your NFL picks, but I can tell you college football is in a very interesting spot right now. We've got athletic directors going on in press conferences post game, accusing refs of stealing the game, of basically accusing of grander conspiracies carried out by their conference. There was a full accusation levied against the Big 12 Saturday night from Utah's athletic director. So maybe that's my gambling strategy coming into this weekend. It's just look for some conspiracy, look for some plot lines, look for some conferences that need some teams to win. And you know what? Not the first time it's happened this year. Texas-Georgia game, when they flipped that pass interference call, that could have dramatically changed that game. And it was within the conference's interest at that time for Texas to win that game because they were the number one team in the country. I think it's just something to, true or not, it's something to notice, something to pay attention to.
No, 100%. I mean, I watched that Utah BYU game in that final drive. It was ridiculous, Jack. What defensive holding on a sack, damn near away from the. It was holding. Don't get me wrong. Technically, it was holding. He committed a penalty, but you can't call that.
I've gone back and forth on it a million times. And at first I was like, it's the worst call I've ever seen. Then I was like, his eyes do start there. The quarterback's eyes do start there. And they did have the blitz picked up at first. So if he gets it out when he wants to get it out, maybe. Still big spot for that flag. I will say the reaction to it for the AD to be on the field in the ref's face before the game's even over was crazy. And I kind of equate it. Do you remember that? Of course you do, because both of our brothers were at the game, but the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl in New Orleans, the blackout game?
Yeah.
So big no call at the end of that game. They didn't get the PI call when the 49ers are driving 4th and goal. They threw a fade to I think it was Crabtree they were trying to locate.
I was about to say, wasn't that Crabtree?
Yeah, and it was just a little back shoulder ball at the right pylon there on 4th and goal. And people acted like that was the biggest deal. Another one was that Rams Saints one in the NFC Championship, that the PI that didn't get called the PI. All of these, by the way, 100%. I don't even think it was holding on Saturday night. Obviously, that was PI. I still throw my hands up to the Ravens 49ers one. I think everyone needs to calm down. The point being is this is baked into the sport. And I know sometimes it feels like you got cheated at that point. Hey, Utah, no ref stopped you from getting shut out in the second half of that game. You want to win, just go ahead and win it. I'm sitting here as an SMU fan, absolutely terrified we're going to get jobbed and they're going to put 7 SEC teams into the playoff. But if we just handle business and win the ACC championship, we're covered.
Exactly. No, you said it. That's it.
Go win.
Don't leave the game in the ref's hands. That's I mean, coaches say that to this day and have been saying that probably as long as sports have existed. Don't leave the game in the ref's hands. If you do, you're probably not going to be happy with the end result.
And I went live Utah in that game, so I stand to be pissed off. And I can honestly say I've just seen it enough. It's just loser talk. It's always just loser talk. Just win the game.
Exactly. I mean, Joe Bags had a BYU action. Joe Bags is Jack's younger brother for the crowd. And he had BYU action, so I was like, fuck it, I'll live bet when they were down, and I got BYU money line for great odds, and I was a happy camper. But I don't think you call it. I think Utah should have won the game. And that's
Joe Bags doesn't feel much like my brother right now. Joe Bags fed me some really bad picks this weekend and put us in a bind. It was all over my
my brother did the same thing to me. My brother Blake, he fed me LSU lock of the year, and well, we saw that one. Honestly, let me not. Yeah, let's go through our picks. I don't want to jump too hard because.
Really quick before we get to our picks, check out our waiting room and make sure.
I got Kevin Turner sitting there waiting. Bring him in.
Yeah, I'm dying. Please, I'm dying to give him the special player shout out. So as you're bringing him in, I'll talk him up here. People, you've heard us talk to him before. You've heard us talk about him plenty on the show, but our boy Kevin Turner, aka Turner 20, had himself another hot weekend. There he is. Yes, sir.
Yo.
There he is.
Camera to work.
Oh, no. Yeah, the camera's working. Yeah. Can you turn it horizontal? Could you give us a little horizontal? Yeah, it's on. Sometimes on the phone, it's hard to see yourself. You had it. You had it. Just turn it. We can see. Oh, man, you got the Chiefs sweatshirt.
Yes, I was just gonna say, looking clean. Is that a fresh pickup from Arrowhead last time?
Yeah,
it looked sweet.
No, I got it. What was it at? Like a Rallies or something like that out there.
Yeah, hell
there
yeah.
You go.
So, dude. Okay, we got a lot to cover with you, but right out of the gate, I feel like we got to talk the fresh 2K you just walked out of last night.
Man, that was a
Parlay.
last minute hit, dude. I was sitting there watching that basketball game, the Nuggets game. I had them going under 27.5 threes the whole game. That last quarter, they were freaking sinking. A couple of them had me on the edge of my seat. And man, it was it was a ride. All the other guys had hit, and I was just sitting there watching that basketball game like, please, quit shooting threes, quit shooting threes. Because I think they were at like 24 with like 5 minutes left. And then it looked like it was going to go to overtime. I was scared it was going to go to overtime. Man, yeah, but it paid off.
Dude, it was a blast to watch it play off. 24 that hung on for dear life there in the last 5 minutes. Thankfully, the Nuggets only shoot 30% on that, but the Mavs shot something like 48% from three, so they were cashing them. Kyrie had 7 on his own.
Yeah, they're that last quarter, man. Like I was saying, they were just sinking them.
So the other plot line you had in that game, you had Jokic over 10.5 assists. By the way, G's on that guy right now. He had 15, by the way, assists, but also kicked in 37
points. Or was it assists and rebounds?
You had just assists over 10.5 assists on Jokic, and he cashed 15 of those by himself.
Yeah. I do my homework, man. I look at the stats, look up, I correspond it with other apps. I look online, I'm checking how the teams are. Oh, hang on, my kid came out. What's up, baby? Real quick.
Oh, I love it.
I love how we're all like silent. Like
the cheese chips, go get them. They're on the counter. No, go get them. Bring them out here. I'm talking on the phone. Okay, can you guys give me like 2 minutes?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no.
You got it covered. God, this guy's got it made right here.
He's just living the good life.
He's so much cooler and better than me. But yeah, I'm giving him all the props in the world because on a Sunday, Lance, when everyone's looking to dig themselves out of a hole or go make some mess around money, I think we're all staring at the NFL slate trying to find some value there. And while the rest of us are zigging, my boy Kev right here go ahead and zags and goes ahead and rips off an all NBA 7-leg parlay on a Sunday and goes and steals the contest. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Jack, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at some of these, and this guy has heart. He has passion. To take the under on Anthony Edwards rebounds. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can look at stats or anything, but just the idea of it, that I always think that's gonna lose. I could never get my mind behind that and just say, "Yep, he's gonna have under in rebounds," because it just would be one of those games where he has like 8 or 10, his first double of the season.
Especially that game was a gritty one. It was 95-94 final score. There was a lot of boards to go around in that game. But like always in hindsight, when I see this stuff, I go back and I'm like, actually, he's a genius. Anthony Edwards, the only thing we've been hearing about the last 2 weeks is how many threes this guy's firing up. He's not crashing boards. He's hanging around the perimeter. That's a switch. And now I will say, Kevin, we were just talking about the one sweaty leg of your parlay. Anthony Edwards under 5.5 boards. He had 5 there midway through the fourth. I thought you were going to have some issues.
All right. Hey, I'm here now.
All good. No, we were just talking about the Anthony Edwards boards, dude. Everywhere across the board, I make this pick in my sleep, but the Anthony Edwards boards to go under 5.5, I don't know that Lance or I have the courage to pull that trigger. And
man, like I said, I was just looking. I look online, man. I'm looking at past history stats and everything, and it said he hadn't been doing too well, and that it was an iffy hit. But
you go home right there with $2,000. By the way, had you placed that bet anywhere else, you would have only won.
You guys are it. It's one of parlay for me, but baby, that's it.
I love it, dude, because it would have literally just won $179 had you placed it any other spot. So you walk out of here with $2,000.
Exactly, man.
By the way, I'm not sure if you've tallied it all up yet, but that brings your overall winnings at Wanna Parlay up to $2,900. That's $2,900, Lance.
I will say I did deposit what was it, 100 not too long ago, but well up now.
Okay, so just to do an accurate accounting then, Kev, you're now $200 put into the machine, and you've pulled out $2,900 and a two tickets, all expenses paid trip to Arrowhead, and a pretty sweet Chiefs jacket.
Yeah, bro, it's paid for by the app, pretty much, baby.
Okay,
I mean, straight up, dude, that was part of that $900 I won.
I love it, dude. So, okay, walk me through the day in the life of the VIP experience too, because Lance and I haven't gotten to hit it. How was that day?
Dude, it was freaking awesome. I mean, for starters, unlimited drinks, dude. Like, what? And then, they had the second place ladies in there. Mm-hmm. They were awesome, wonderful, made it a lot more fun, I say a little closer to my age. They're a little older, but they were cool, man. And, just that whole area, the whole vibe in that room was awesome. Being at the stadium in a freaking VIP booth. Like, what? Where else can you get that from? Where else can you win that from? Nowhere.
Dude, you said it. I love it. And by the way, you got overtime that game too. I'm sure the place was rocking.
I know I didn't need the game to go to overtime. I kind of screwed my bet, but it made for a better experience too. Watch it a lot more intense. I thought the Chiefs were just going to sweep it. But the Bucs put up a good fight and turned out for a good game.
Just an awesome one. Well, dude, we announced it at the top of the show. Didn't know that we were going to be able to turn it around so quickly, but Juana's putting another VIP contest back on the books. Just opened last night. This one's sponsored by Bob Menery. Hopefully he'll be mixing it up there at the box, having some fun as well. So as a guy who's played and won this thing in the past, will you be back firing again in this one?
Oh yeah, I'm waiting until the last couple of days though. There's no point in hopping in really right now. As you can see, the score's at like a 6.93. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can easily take that, but I think waiting towards the end is the main goal. That's what I did with that 2K. I hit it last night on a last night made bet, last day of the parlay, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do the same thing with this. Wait till the last week or so. I might make a few here and there just to see if I can't shoot that score up and see if anybody wants to try to beat it. But
yeah, there's a little bit of a rhythm to this thing, and sometimes it's like racehorsing. Sometimes guys get out early and they never get caught. But I tell you what, I remember it was hanging out at like 82 last time with 5 days to go, and I was like, until now, everyone's just been chasing ghosts because that 82 isn't going to hold on, and you ended up flipping it with like 122 or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I think it was a 65, held it for a couple weeks, and then what's her name? Sheena hit the same day I hit for like 88 or 82, and then I hit for 122. So my strategy is going to be 100 plus. That has to be 100 plus, at least in my head, to really be secured.
So you think the threshold's 100? You got no matter what parlay you place in the contest, it should be over 100.
Yeah, I think at least close to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
my head, just for
you're only going to throw a couple jabs in the contest before, and then is it the final week? Is it the final 3 days? Is it the final day that you make the run?
It'll probably be final day. I'll probably pump 10 or so into it. And, going into it though, I'll probably just dabble here and there, with the main event last night. I mean, I don't know if you guys were looking. I had a lot that did not hit. I had a lot that did not hit, but I had the one that did. All right, so it's I'm trying to even it out with football and basketball because my football is not hitting. But the one I hit last night was straight basketball, 7-man basketball pick.
Yeah, it's not a place to go and count because you get excited because you're hitting at a 60% clip on your picks. You got to win parlays now, so there's gonna be a lot of losing in this game.
Yeah.
As long as you win, no one remembers the losses. And
exactly,
Kevin, you said, you put only 200 into this thing so far, and you've already pulled out 2,900 and that trip, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come.
And I'm about to be getting these promotion codes. Finally, we got it on the app. I probably got 4 or 5 buddies who are getting it today after I showed them that 2K off a $2 entry, and they were just mind blown, dude.
Yeah. Well, good. Get the word out there.
Okay, just hang on.
So when you place parlays, when you mix and match, are you kind of doing like, say you took all the overs and then in the other parlay all the unders of the same picks, or are you just dabbling everywhere and just doing the best you can?
I'm just dabbling, man. I'm seeing what's my best statistic wise. You know, what's more likely to actually happen. So I might pick a guy from the Nuggets game, then I might hop over, pick a guy from the Clippers, hop over, pick a guy from OKC, one or two guys from each team. You know, I've learned that if you pick too many people from one team, it kind of bites you in the butt. So
yeah, no, I understand that 100%. I've done the same thing over and over again. It feels like I just keep losing. So, Kevin, you've got the secret. I mean, coming out with 2,900, a Chiefs game. You got the merch. I mean, you're feeling good. Yeah. Your kids are eating. Your kids are looking for Cheez-Its. I mean, they're eating good. I mean, everyone's eating good in Kevin Turner's life.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's actually helped me put a closing on the couch too and everything. So it's paying off, dude. It's helping.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That was the final question, Kev. I don't want to take you too far away from the kids there. So final question of the day that everyone's going to be worried about is how you plan on spending this $2,900 you got burning a hole in your pocket right now.
Oh man, like I said, it's going to help with the moving, and then probably get this little one. You want to say hi? Say hi.
Hello.
I'm gonna get her a nice little swing set or something. Get her, spoil her. That's all I do. You know, I don't have no girlfriend. This is my money taker right here. So
I love it. She seems well worth it right there. When you get that swing set, please send us a picture. We want to celebrate.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, dude, we won't take any more of your time, but thank you so much for jumping on. And we are fired up to have you back on when you're back in the winner's circle, which I'm sure will be like 24 hours from now. So,
yeah. All right, fellas. Appreciate it, man.
Take it easy, dude.
Hey, y'all too. Peace.
What an absolute legend. What an absolute
come right there.
Just a great all-around guy. I mean, he's using Juana's competitions to pay for a down payment on his house. Like, come on. Tell me a better app out there. Tell me a better app out. Exactly. That's so good. There's not a better app out there.
I'll say this, and I don't mean to drag our more regulars on the show, but I more appreciate talking to guys like Sport and Papa, who I'm like, okay, they're as equally as confused as I am. That guy has it so figured out. It's crazy. He's the mellow man. He's laughing. He's like, yeah, I do the research. I throw the picks in there. And 3 weeks later, I got $3,000 in my pocket. And I just came back from a free trip to a suite. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good over there.
Kevin Turner's got it figured out. One more last shout out. Kevin Turner, you are the man. All right.
That is account Turner 20 for those that need to go look for some picks. If you're cold right now, you don't have to be. The beauty of Wanna Parlay is you can go see what the winners are doing and try to learn, try to pivot. Go ahead and copy. There's no shame in that.
Why not? Get a tie in there. Get some money. Why not?
Well, Lance, hearing from that winner, we should probably discuss us being losers now. We need to do a little bit of humble ourselves, do a little weekend recap, and take a little accountability for the freak show.
We sure do.
Quickly, because there's not a lot to celebrate. Let me celebrate my wins. Army -5.5. That thing was smart. That thing did have to hang on for dear life. We had a pick six with two. We had a pick in the end zone. North Texas was driving to screw that whole thing up. They also kicked us a couple turnovers and tried to go onside, a surprise onside their first kick. So a lot of gifts given to us there, but we'll take the win. Army rolls on, wins their 13th in a row. They go to 9-0 in the season. Bama -2.5. Again, I hate to drag us. I know we're Tiger fans around here, but that one seemed obvious. Jalen Milroe, we said his legs were going to be the X factor, and boy, were they. Led for a very funny press conference with Brian Kelly after at the end of the game, where he's like, "We prepared for this. You don't think we did? It's just not working." And then it was nothing but losses. I got sold on Vanderbilt. What a mistake! I think Vanderbilt's good. They're fun. They're not good. South Carolina's hot. That was dumb. South Carolina rolls them. Texas Tech. You know what? In a different world, I actually think that was going to be a great game. That was a great game for a while. and it's going to lead to a conversation I want to bring up after this. I think the fans of Texas Tech absolutely ruined that game and stole it from their own team. That game was so organized and never once got on the tracks. That game got played exactly like Colorado wanted to it. No one enjoys playing the villain more than they do, and boy, did Texas Tech just put them up in the absolute best position to succeed. Colorado ends up, fumble recovery for a touchdown win by 14. There you go. And then Georgia -2.5 at Ole Miss. I would have loved to hear Lane Kiffin say ahead of that game they've been preparing for a year. I had to learn that fun fact out after the game, where he literally said, we've been preparing for this game for a year. Because of the way we lost last year, we recruited differently, and we've been talking about their scheme, and everything we've done has been about this game. I would have loved to know all that before I went spouting off my nonsense about Georgia -2.5. Carson Beck, it ain't you, man. This Georgia team's a national champion if it was someone else but you. It just ain't you, pal. Would love you. I'm sure Liberty would love you. Coastal Carolina maybe, but good Lord, it just ain't you, pal. So that's my 2-3 week.
Yeah, I mean, just going back through it, the Georgia one, that team just lacks they're so goddamn good, but they don't have like that number 1 pick or the number 2 pick, like that X factor guy that just there's the Carson Beck obviously isn't it. And
yeah, they've got a lot of perennial stars, and I like their running back, and they've got some good. But it's like they've got not perennial stars. They've got great role players that are going to have long NFL careers. But you're right, we lack a Ryan Williams, we lack a Cam Ward at quarterback. It's something that just makes you feel like even when you're wrong, he's going to make you right, kind of thing on offense. And so they're going the long way everywhere they go. They started that game up 7-0. I felt smart for all of 5 minutes, and then the game got real one-sided real fast.
Yeah, and I also want to say, Carson Beck, your sleeve looks like shit. It's horrible. You look stupid. All right, sorry, I had to get that out there. I'm just not a big fan of his sleeve. The Texas Tech one, yeah, that's tough. I mean, they're throwing fucking tortas on the field, or tortillas. That's just going to give Colorado and all their people the fire that they need. Honestly, I can't believe it wasn't a bigger win.
Lance, we're going into the 4th quarter in a 1-score game, and Joey McGuire, the head coach for Texas Tech, has to get on the microphone to tell the fans to cool it. And this started with the Texas game earlier this year, because I don't really remember this being a thing. And now it seems every college football game has got to pause because people are throwing stuff on the field. Boy, is this stupid. Boy, is this whole thing stupid. As I've been at it when I've been at the game, it just slowed the game down. At no point was I we're having fun here. No, the whole thing's stupid. It's so stupid. It offends me to my core.
Yeah, it's very dumb. I don't know why we're throwing things on the field. I would be scared to. I can't believe some of these people just have this confidence that they throw and they're not going to get caught. But I guess if everyone does it, I mean, who's going to get in trouble?
And I'll say this, Lance, I don't want us to get stuck here, but I am typically pro-fan in the player-fan exchange, where I think players have got we've given them way too much leeway on what fans are and are not allowed to say to them. Where I do think the sport is by and for the fans. As long as you're not physically threatened, those guys can flip you off. They can say whatever the fuck they want, absolutely whatever they want. It is a war zone. That is what this thing is for. That is why you buy tickets. You get to go be a lunatic. You can't throw shit at people, and you can't put your hands on people. But outside of that, it is what it is. I remember that Chris Paul exchange with the Mavericks years ago, where his family had these people removed, and it's this 16-year-old kid getting walked up the stairs. Lance, I was a coach's kid when Washington played Oregon. I've had more beers thrown on me before I turned 10 than you fucking know. And by the way, it fired me up every time. It was that's right. We're going, you and me.
Exactly. And that's one of the big parts of the fan player. I mean, the players, it's an acknowledgement of respect, because if a fan is flipping you off, giving you the bird, giving you the works, that means you're pretty good. There's a reason he's yelling at you.
It's a be careful what you wish for phenomenon, because the alternative is bullshit. It's a horrible games. It's no fun. You completely remove that veneer of we're involved in the game. When you do that, why am I going to the game then instead of watching it on TV? The TV product's gotten so good. The only reason to go to it is to be part of an atmosphere. You start chipping away at my atmosphere, what am I going to?
No, exactly. You're 100% right. That's mic drop. That was good. That's what it is. I mean, that's why you go to games.
But there you go. That's college football. Give me NFL. Talk me through Jets. What a colossal disappointment they are.
Oh, man, do I hate the Jets. Jets are on the ban list. They're a shitty organization. They always have been, and they always will be. I guess maybe back in Joe Namath was slinging the rock, they weren't as bad. But still, Jets, poverty, gone, ban list, never looking at you again unless I'm betting against you. And even then, I don't want to do that because I don't like betting against Aaron Rodgers ever. So there's my Jets spiel. Bills, way to come through. I mean, we talked about it. Joe Flacco, doo-doo. And the Bills were better. They did their job. They came through. It was a little sketchy, but they came through. Good job, Bills.
This is one of the ones when we talked through it on Thursday that spooked me. So right on. Way to have the conviction and pull the trigger. Bills -4.
Yeah. And then these 2 losses, Commanders -2.5. That hurt, Jack. Because honestly, if they didn't come down and kick, or they were going to kick field goals and it was going to be 2 points, I was never getting the 2.5 basically at the end of that game. Once they scored the touchdown. Once Mike Williams scored that touchdown, I was cooked. So I was already out. So regardless of who won the game, obviously I'd like to see Jaden Daniels win, have success, rather than Mr. Unlimited, whatever the hell Russell Wilson's got going on. But, I mean, it's a tough game. I don't know.
It's a 60-minute game, and for 50 minutes, you really felt like you were on the right side right there. So I feel bad the way it ended. And more Jets slander. How about Mike Williams having instant success in Pittsburgh?
I know.
After he gets, thrown out with the bathwater with the coaching staff and all the excuses the Jets were piling up. And all of a sudden, no, he's not the problem. The problem's in New York. It's bad.
It's the organization. It's cursed. That's my belief. I think it's just no matter what player or who you are, if you put on the Jet green, you're a loser. You lose. There's nothing anyone can do to convince me otherwise. But yeah, Commanders won. That was tough. And then the goddamn Lions. I mean, Jared Goff, 5 interceptions. I come back to reality. Everyone with your Jared Goff MVP talk and all the whole hype of I mean, don't get me wrong, the Lions roster is still very good, but Jared Goff is just as average as he was when we shipped his ass out of LA. I mean, he's just an average Joe. And that's all I'll say about it. Because, I mean, the Lions defense, the fact that they won that game, they played phenomenal, Jack. Like, that second half shutout, just Stroud couldn't do anything. But Jared Goff, 5 interceptions. I can't believe we're saying that. I was talking to my buddies when we were betting before the game. We're like, all right, let's whale Lions. All Jared Goff has to do is be average. He doesn't need to be the superhero that he's been the past couple games or past few games. Just get the job done. Couldn't do it. 5 interceptions. I mean, Jesus. And then the Eagles. Let me just get by because Eagles is easy. Cowboys are trash. See you next season. Eagles -7, too easy. All right, go ahead.
No, fading the Cowboys is going to be easy. They get bad lines anyway, and they're real bad. The Sun thing with CeeDee Lamb is so funny to me that Jerry Jones have to answer questions about the stadium and if they're going to do renovations or not. That is just a hilarious situation they find themselves in at this point in the season when people thought they might be a Super Bowl roster. So awesome stuff there, frankly. And then the Lions. The Jared Goff conversation is as easy as this. A guy like that's not allowed to throw interceptions. And to date, he really hasn't. He had 4 going into last night and then throws 5 that way. But a guy like that's supposed to be an extension of the offensive coordinator. He's as good as the scheme will allow him to be. And when the scheme's right, a guy like that makes you great. Sometimes in Anthony Richardson, when the scheme's great, you're still shit. So that's why you dream guys like going that route of going, yeah, I'm going to have Brock Purdy. I'm going to have Jared Goff. I'm going to have a Sam Darnold because it's just we trust the scheme and we trust our play calling. You're not allowed to throw 5 picks, though. You're not allowed to throw 5 picks. It's a little bit like this kid, Miller Moss for USC. When it was good, it's great. He looked good, didn't turn the ball over against LSU. All of a sudden you go, that's a recipe we can win with. Then he throws a pick 6 against Michigan, and USC has not looked right the entire season since.
I mean, dude, 5? I'm a reasonable guy. I mean, I get it. The Hail Mary at the end of the half, that took him to 3. Maybe he shouldn't have been at 3, but 5? I mean, the 3 should have been the total, Jack. 5 is gross. And some of these throws, like my favorite, they're establishing the run game. Like it's actually coming along. They get the boot. Goff, it's not there. There's 3 on Jameson. There's 3 defensive players on Jameson Williams and probably a 4th one I couldn't see in the camera. And you're throwing that? You're better than that. My God, did I wail too much money on stupid Jared Goff.
You know what the insulting part was? You get that missed field goal, you had a chance to backdoor the coin toss there.
I know. Because
they would have. Not the Texans. The Lions offense, though, at that point was rolling. I think he'd go down and win that game with that missed field goal.
Yeah, I was praying for it. I'm like, take us to OT. I mean, I just feel like the gods would rather rig it and have the Lions win the toss and go cover rather than the Texans. But nope. I mean, good for that kid. The kid that I was mad in the moment, but the kid that kicked the field goal, he's a brick salesman. He has 2 game winners now. I mean, good for you. Good for you.
By the way, bricks are not cheap. We keep turning our noses up at the brick salesman. I bet that guy was making great money. I bet he was doing really well.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know much about the brick salesman life, but honestly, it sounds a little bit, or it seems like it sounds a lot worse than it is.
I just know, like, these big, like, university campus remodelings and whatever, they go bricks like that. They were talking millions and millions of dollars in transaction here. I'm sure this guy was doing just fine as the brick salesman. I don't think
that's a super good point.
On hard times and was all of a sudden really struggling to put it together there in Houston. I think brick sales was going pretty good for him. Now, NFL kicker all day long, but I'm just saying.
No, yeah. It's not like a sob story, feel good, like to where he was like homeless or something like that, and from rags to riches. Like he was still probably had success in his business, and then came back.
It's the same as Ben Herbstreit's dog. I get the story. I'm on the right side. I agree with everybody, but let's just pump the brakes a hair. Let's just chill on Ben Herbstreit a sec.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sad. But everyone loses a dog, man. Like that's part of the game. Is when you live a life as full as a human's, that your dog is literally tense. Like you get, but it is what it is.
We don't have to spend too much time on it. But if that dog didn't die this year, it would have died 2 years from now.
Exactly, it would have died next year.
What do we?
I'm 100% on your side on that one. 2 and 3 from both of us, and combined for 4 and 6. Gross.
We do have a chance to get right, though. We do have more picks Monday night. That's the beauty of the sports calendar. They've just given us more and more opportunities to get right. You ready to talk Monday?
Yep, they sure do. You start.
Okay, beautiful. Football is king on this show. We're going to stay football at the top of it. Rams minus 2.5. Feels like that line should be even more. There's something a little spooky with Tua trying to get back and get right. So part of me is a little bit hesitant on picking the spread, but Cardinals win yesterday. Rams are starting to feel like a team that's going to threaten to win that division and be in the bona fide playoff team, be the team we thought they'd be preseason. Trust the Rams minus 2.5, though it may be a little hairy. Might want to think about teasers on that one. And then I love the best pick of that game is over 48.5. Tua is back now for the second week. Dolphins have scored 27 in their last 2 weeks. I love points across the board. Rams have gotten healthier on offense with receiver Puka Nacua returns after getting kicked out of the game. I feel good about that over quite a bit. Pivoting, going to NBA ball now. I have not picked a lot of NBA games, I should say. I'm not great at it, but when I have had the conviction, I've done okay. And I like the Clips plus 6.5 tonight at OKC. You got Chet Holmgren is down. Hartenstein is still out. Clips are going to dominate inside. A little high pick and roll James Harden. Give me the Clips plus 6.5 on the road. And then a little college hoops here. Let me stay in LA with my college basketball. I'll go UCLA minus 26.5 versus Boston. It's a UCLA team that's going to be good. They did just have a freak show loss against New Mexico. I expect Mick Cronin to have the boys bounce back tonight. And BU, it's Boston University, is now 0-2 on the season and just got beat by a San Diego team by 14. And that team is not allowed to give out scholarships. So it's a bunch of walk-on kids dealing them up for a 14-point win. I like UCLA to get right tonight and win by 30+.
Yeah, no, that UCLA one, especially with the BU getting beat by San Diego. San Diego's so bad. I just live bet them like a week ago. They were playing Ryder, whatever the hell that means, if that's a college or whatever. I tried to live bet them. They did not come through. They're not very good, but yeah, UCLA minus 26.5 might be a hammer. Like come on, that sounds great. And your Rams pick, I mean, I'm a Rams guy, so I love it. Clips plus 6.5. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Everything does, kind of guide towards this way, but I'm just saying those OKC, like the Thunder, are good. They know each other. Good. Their chemistry, they're good. So that one, I don't hate. I don't love. It's kind of just a toss up for me. I feel like it has the right knowledge and intentions behind it, but that Thunder team, I mean, who knows?
The Thunder team's damn good. And I'm not great at interpreting NBA spreads, but it feels like 6.5. You're either telling me it's never going to be close. We're going to have it, they're going to be up by 10 plus going into the fourth kind of situation, or we're going to get a good game. To me, slow start Clips started to play well, and you get a banged up OKC team. I think we're going to get a game out of this.
No, and I could, and especially Harden going back to OKC. I mean, there's always some blood there. There's always a little kick in the chaps. All right, going on to me. So I'm not picking between Rams and Dolphins tonight, Jack. I'm a fan of the Rams. I'm a big fan of the Rams, and I just can't do it anymore. I'm done betting on my own teams. It just hurts too much. I get way too goddamn of course I'll be betting Rams, but they won't be my pick on this show. I get too invested. I create every storyline possible just so I can have a reason to bet them. So they will not be on the slate, but I will say there are some props from that game that are coming. I'm going to start off A-Chain over 54.5 receiving yards. I got this from our Discord. A lot of people like this in our Discord, Jack. They were firing. I think it's a squad ride. Cooper Kupp over 65.5 receiving yards. So I keep trying to ask myself, I'm like, who gets the Jalen Ramsey matchup? And I believe it's Puka, right? You would think
it's going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be a little everything. I know Jalen Ramsey historically has a little bit of that spotlight thing where he's wandering and going there all over the place. I will say I wouldn't worry too much about it with the Rams matchup because whoever Sean McVay wants to scheme open, he's going to scheme open. They're going to find ways to put him in the backfield, to run him in motion, to go some pre-snap shifting, whatever they need to do. Put him in stack formations. They'll get him the matchups they want, and they'll get him the ball.
Yeah, that's a good point. But so even with that being said, I'm still very confident in Cooper Kupp over 65.5 receiving yards. I mean, it's Cooper Kupp, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think too hard about it.
Every time I bet Cooper Kupp on like receptions and yards, I find after the first drive, he's had 5 catches for like 45 yards. And I'm like, yeah, this is all auto. Why do we not do this every fucking week?
No, yeah, exactly. So another one, last pick from the Rams game, player prop. Guys, Kyren Williams, anytime touchdown. I love it. He didn't hit it last week, which makes me love it even more because he hit it the 10 weeks before that or however long the streak was. Don't quote me. Maybe my facts were a little off, but he was on a damn long streak. So I like him to get back in the touchdown. Moving to NBA, Sacramento Kings minus 1.5 at Spurs. I was a little confused that the line was 1.5 with the Kings being what looks like a bottom seeder playoff team. And the Spurs looking like complete dog poo. I mean, they just don't look very good. Yeah, they can beat bad teams like the Trailblazers, but we just saw them last night and they look atrocious. I don't know how Chauncey Billups still has a job, but I mean, and in situations like that, I mean, I guess you can't hire anyone better, so might as well just keep it the same, try to build a culture, but Portland's bad. But give me Sacramento minus 1.5. I'm not thinking twice about it. Then moving to college basketball, something I know nothing about, but man, this just screamed to me for some reason. Alabama minus 17.5 versus McNeese State. I don't know one player on Alabama. I don't know one player on McNeese, but what I do know is that Roll Tide will be in effect tonight. And when that covers, I'm going to have a big grin on my face tomorrow. I had to reach out to Sport because I knew we couldn't have him on until tomorrow. I said, give me a hockey pick. He said, sure, bud. Let me give you Stars minus 1.5 at Penguins. And then he said Cale Makar and McKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche to each have a point. So I love it. I just love trust and blindly trusting that guy and just saying, you know what, whatever you say goes. Let's go make money.
Football picks here across the board, no complaints. I like that you're spread across the board with a little Rams, little Dolphins there as well. Appreciate your variance. Kings pick, I would have had the same. I just wanted us to mix it up a little bit. So I went and found myself a better pick in the clips, but I love the Kings take. Your Bama take, I do know something about Alabama basketball, and that's that they play up and down the court at a high velocity, and they like to shoot a lot of threes. So this is a team, if they're going to go ahead and beat McNeese tonight, why wouldn't they beat them by 1,000? Why I don't actually understand why the spread's a little bit bigger. Maybe I need to do just 1 second of research on McNeese to see if they're a half-decent team, because it makes me think with that spread they might be. Sit tight on that one, folks. And then the NHL picks, obviously I don't know shit. I can't complain. But I will say I did do some investigating of the NHL this weekend, and I did have some NHL picks out there after talking to a buddy of mine on how to get right. And one of his big suggestions, Lance, is constantly betting first period action. And so he's like, there's a lot of discrepancies between how teams perform in the first period and how they perform overall in the game. So they'll press the issue to start here and there. And if you bet on these, rather than going money line bets where you push on a tie, if you bet on the minus half goal on the first period, those odds are always plus 150 to plus 200 across the board there. So you got to look for your spots there. We got to do a little research. We got to get a little smarter. But I hope to ask Sport about this on tomorrow's show and start looking for an angle there, just hammering some of these first period hockey bets.
Yeah, that's sneaky. I mean, that especially with the odds boost that you get.
Right. So hear me out. So a team that does great in the first period, but they think is going to lose the game, right? So they're plus 200 on the game. There's no way then the odds makers can make their first period bet minus 110, even though they're a good first period team. Everything has to correlate with whatever that final pick is. So it falls in line there, but not every period necessarily matches up like that if you go look and comb through the stats. So I'm excited to ask Sport about this. And if we want, we can have my buddy come on and explain this, because I'm sure I'm doing a horseshit job of that, excuse me. But yeah, I'm looking for the angles there, because the odds are to be had there. And like we talked about, one of the scary parts of these hockey bets are this empty net paradigm here in the third quarter or the third period. We have to go nowhere near that with these first guys. And for nothing else, a couple guys that like the rush of gambling and like to mix it up, making our picks. Little 20 minutes on the ice, hot action. Let's go. We live and die right then. I'm here for that. I don't need two intermissions.
It literally sounds, honestly, that sounds incredible. I'm gonna throw one tonight because I'm a sick man, and you just gave me a great idea. Let me read the chat. I've been kind of struggling. I kind of forgot to read the chat. That's me. KG, Kevin. Oh, Kevin Turner. We're dialed. KG had. Oh, Tyreek just said he's playing tonight. That's good. Bulls plus the points tonight. They might even knock off the Cavs tonight. The Cavs players were out late last night.
Ooh, dude. That's good inside information. Kevin's is ear to the ground in the bar scene there in Chicago. He knows. That's very actionable. Kevin, double down on the chat right there and confirm that's that we can call that a cold hard fact, because I will hit it hard on the cover. It's 11.5.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to say, KG, I looked at the game and I low-key liked Bulls. I was like, they've been getting tossed around recently. They had a little fight against the T-Wolves, but, their defense couldn't do anything. And if the Cavs, take them for a joke, don't take them seriously and come out flat, the Bulls can run away and maybe, man, all right, you've convinced me. I'm throwing Bulls money line, KG. I hope you're right. All right.
Put it in the Discord. Add it to the slate.
Yep. And then we had Kevin Turner definitely taking Rams for minus 2.5 spread. I love that because you're a winner. That means my team will be a winner. And then he said, I also forgot to mention how cool it was to meet the owner of Wanna Parlay. I believe his name was Jim. Great guy, awesome sense of humor, and sent me home with a bottle of his very own tequila. Kevin Turner, that is just a absolute 10 out of 10 experience you must have experienced. I mean, that's just got to be great. I haven't met the owner personally, but Jack, you have words.
Yeah, Jim Bob's as cool a guy as they come. A fearless leader, owner of Wanna Parlay, and also owner of El Bandito Yankee Tequila, which Kev was lucky enough to go home with. I'm not even a tequila guy, Lance, but I've had my fun times with that stuff, and it's so good, it's sick. It's so good, it's sick. As far as tequila goes, like when you're thinking tequila, like you're thinking of the college hangover and how bad that can be. This is as drinkable and as tasty a tequila as far as the word tequila goes. Obviously, you got to live under that umbrella a little bit, but it's the real deal.
Wow, yeah, no, I gotta see how I can find some of my own tequila get sent over. But no, but KG, oh, he came in. Fact, we are hammering Bulls, KG, hammer. We are hammering the Bulls because you have that inside information that most folks don't. And I swear to God, KG, if this is a 20-point Cavs win, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. And it dropped down to 8. The spread is 8, Jack. Vegas knows.
We're going to go chase that. Yeah. Go get it. Let's rush through this outro so I can go hammer that thing.
Yeah, seriously. All right, folks. Yeah, Jack, hit us with the outro.
Yeah, I'm going to just step on this because KG has given us something real, and we should all literally go sprint to hammer this. This is very few times do you get the call on the locked racehorse, and we have it right now. Bulls tonight, people. This show is brought to you by Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every week people are turning $2 into $2,000 of cold, hard American cash. Reminder, we heard from Kevin earlier. Everyone go be more like Kevin, okay? The main event is open right now. You too could have as good a chance as anybody to be the next guy or girl winning $2,000 on a $2 parlay. You want to feel like Lance and I? You want to feel like losers? Or you feel a little cold? Go look over at the Wanna board right now and go see all the winners and see how you change your life. The beauty of this, you don't have to go chasing ghosts. You can go look at what the Sharks are doing, how they're doing it, and go ahead and copy it. There's no shame there. That's the beauty of Wanna Parlay. Also, a reminder, in addition to the main event, people, all the pick'ems are up for some big-time midweek winnings. And most importantly, which contest is up? The next Wanna Parlay VIP trip is back up for grabs. The winner, once again, is getting two all expenses paid tickets to Kansas City to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play the Los Angeles Chargers from the Wanna Parlay suite. Cost you $2 to enter for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I can't say it enough, people. It is all expenses paid. We just heard from Kevin earlier today talk about his experience. Guy looked pretty good in that Chiefs jacket. I'll say that much. That should be you. It could be you. Cost you $2 to get you that chance. Go ahead and rip it up. Be the next Brittany Mahomes or Jackson Mahomes, pouring champagne all over the crowd there at Arrowhead. Contest is open now. Will remain open until December 1st. Go get all over that. Thank you, good people of Wanna Parlay. This has been the Wanna Parlay podcast.
Yes, sir. And one final salute, Veterans Day. Shout out all the veterans, I guess including myself. I feel like that's kind of gloating right there, but
you're active duty. I'm a dumbass. I'm so sorry. I did everything I said there.
All good. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Adios. We salute.